Have you ever been bit by a lion? I bet you've been bit by a mosquito. It's always the small things that always bite you. It's a matter of being prepared for your appointment. How many times have you went out and met with a client that you're like, oh yeah, Joe wants to list his house. You bring out the listing. Here's a few comparables, and you rush through the process. You give him a price. Okay, sounds great. I'll get it back to you next week. All of a sudden, he goes dark. Joe won't call you back. Won't call you back. Won't call you back. The following week, Joe finally calls you back. Hey, Kevin, I went ahead and really appreciate you going through all of the numbers with me, but I was talking to my girlfriend, and she read somewhere that you really should interview 2 to 3 other agents before you really go into making any big decisions, because this is one of the biggest decisions you're making with one of your biggest investments. So I did interview a few agents, and they said I could get a lot more money for my home, and they told me that if I did this, and this, and so, I think I might end up having to go that direction. What do you think? And you end up working harder and harder and harder to build all that rapport back with this client that you've had for a very long time. If you would have followed the process step by step all the way through, you never would have been there and got yourself in that situation. So what I mean by that is make sure you never skip a step. Make sure that you go through your full presentation. You start the presentation, you go through and you let them know that we have there's 115 variables that affect your value and that we've identified when it comes to selling your home. And we've broken those into 7 different laws. And we basically go through all of those different 7 laws and share with them all of the different items that go into play as far as affecting the value of their home, whether that's, the current market conditions, their motivation, their timing. And then we go through also the different benefits of different things they can do to prepare their home for sale. And then we talk about the negotiation process, what that looks like, as well as our vendor relationships. We talk about the entire process, not skipping one thing. We also bring up that there are many agents that will come in and they'll just want to tell you what you want to hear and price your home at a higher price just so they can brush the dust off their sign and get it out of their garage and maybe get a listing and generate some leads, not really looking out for their best interests. So when we do a good job in going through all of those pieces of the puzzle and making them aware that we do honestly have their best interests at heart, but also going into the market data. This is what the market is. This is what the absorption rates are. Here's the new construction that you're going to be competing with. Here's the inventory that's coming on the market in the next 30, 60, 90, or 120 days that you're going to be competing directly with that's going to impact the value that you're going to get. Because when a buyer comes out and goes and looks at homes, they're not going to look at just your home or 2 or 3 homes. They're going to look at the best homes out there on the market. So how can we position you to be the best possible to compete at a high level with that to net you the most amount of money? Because Mr. Seller, I'm assuming your net and netting the most amount of money is the most important thing for you. Would that be correct? I believe it probably is. So don't skip the small things and take something for granted. It's okay to get bit by a lion, but those little mosquitoes can get you can really get your pocketbook over a period of time. So focus on keeping consistent message and a consistent presentation, and it'll also not only net them more money, but it's also going to increase your bottom line and net you more money.